Hey, what's up, comic book fans? We here and we're about to drop another top three. For those of you who don't know, this is a weekly series that we do where we pick the top three comics that come out every Wednesday. And by top three, they're just ones that we like, that we're going to read, and that we want to talk about on here. This video is going to be filled with spoilers. We are going to talk about these comics as if you have already read them. So if you don't want to be spoiler filled, then you can go to our website at www.confirecomics.com and then you can read the non-spoiler filled review right there. But let's get into it. And you're here with Confire Rich.
And I'm Confire Nate. And the first one we're going to talk about is Constantine Hellblazer. Now, when I first saw this, I was really excited because Constantine is one of those awesome characters. I mean, we just recently had a great TV show that is kind of semi in limbo from NBC about Constantine. It's just one of those characters. He's kind of, you know, he's tough. He doesn't care about nobody, but he's also knows what he's doing. So it's always exciting to see him in another comic book series. The original, since the New 52, the original Constantine has been a great comic, and they've actually took it and kind of wove it into some of the Justice League storyline and some other stuff. So it's always exciting to see Constantine interacting with superheroes. But this one kind of is standalone. You know, it's see what he's going to do. The great thing about this comic is throughout the issue, you kind of get that feeling like he's, you know, the character comes out. You know, the character that you expect from John Constantine comes out, and it's almost classic how he basically manipulates someone into basically doing what they didn't want to do from the beginning. Basically, he's in a situation where I guess she's a demon, right? Some type of demon or something like that.
You talking about the chick that comes in when he's at the diner?
Yeah, is she a demon?
Yeah.
I guess, right?
She kind of tries to hoodwink him into doing some bidding for her. Right. Yeah. Tries to play him for a fool, basically. Right.
But basically, if she tries to do what she wants him to do, she'll be sent back down to hell for, you know, a millennia or whatever. So she's like, listen, I want you to do it. So he puts her in that situation, and he classically is like, I forgot the words, and she's like, no, you idiot, the words are this, and she says it, and he's like, oh, well, thank you, bam, you know. And it's classic. It's just, it's very.
That was, to me, that was the best part of that comic. Up until that point, I'm just gonna be honest. This is the first issue of this little story arc. That's right.
Yeah, no. This is the first one.
I wasn't crazy about it. I don't know a ton about Constantine, so I don't have a lot of backstory. But if this is kind of like the new issue, kind of a new storyline, I shouldn't have to know a whole lot about the rest of it. But
yeah, you kind of go into it knowing, I mean, you definitely don't read this because you don't know nothing about Constantine, and you want to be like, who's this character? If you go into it, they're not going to tell you a lot about his character, but you're going to kind of figure out who he is as a person, because he's just this brash, do whatever I want, you know, worry about myself kind of character. And
yeah, you definitely got that from this one. I got that from from this one anyway. But I was down for the end. Like it made it seem like they was trying to play him, and then you kind of pick up as he's, you know, mummering that spell to cast out this demon out of this spot. You kind of pick up on that he's playing him. So it was neat when he did it and pulled it down, and then he just kind of stomps on her head, you know, pushes her down through the hole or whatever to send her on down, and it was nice. I'm gonna give this comic a couple more chances, and I don't ever discount anything off of one issue, so I'm at least gonna give it, you know, 4 good reads and see, you know, if it picks up with me. Not everything's gonna resonate with me, and this one so far hasn't. Hopefully the other ones can do a better job, but I'll wait and see. Up until the end, I wasn't completely thrilled with this one anyway.
Well, and it's going to take some time. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk. What's the
that's
next
me
one
not
on the
knowing.
list?
So,
which one will you want to talk about next?
Copperhead.
Copperhead.
I'm liking that one. If you've ever seen Firefly, Copperhead is very similar to that. This is like a space
that's a good example.
western, except you're not flying around in spaceships like you are in Firefly. And this one is more of a like a Clint Eastwood type western. Old sheriff of this old dusty town comes in. Takes place after a war.
It's like a mining colony.
Yeah, and the deputy is the species that the human race was at war against, and so now he's playing second fiddle to another human, and they kind of introduce this chick right off the bat. You know, this chick is bad when they introduce her at the beginning of the series. So this one's a slow burn. I mean, I guess it's like that for any Western. So I mean, they're staying true to that type of genre. Because it's kind of slow, it's kind of slow building, but we're to the point now where it's picked up. You know, things are going down. You know, you got your classic, you know, rich person in the town that thinks he runs everything, thinks he should run the sheriff, and this chick ain't going for that. She's a tough cookie, and single parent, got the kid on her own, and I like it. I like the Inhuman. Is that what they're called? Inhumans? What are the assassins that they had built for the war?
Oh, they're they call them, the slang form is like arty, but it's basically like an artificial intelligence.
All right. What am I talking about? Inhuman? Man, I just be making up stuff. Man, I don't be paying attention to
But yeah, it's only 8 issues in. So it's not too hard to get caught up, and I actually think they just dropped a trade like last month, so you can get caught up real fast, and then pick a couple back issues. It basically, the species, which I actually think I wrote when I wrote the article. The species, like Richie said, is the one that lost, and that's who her deputy is. Basically this alien species. So there's already that conflict between humans and them, and you can already, throughout the issue, you kind of see that this guy, he's basically like he's got a little, you know, PTSD for that matter. I mean, he's had a couple moments where he's thought about when he was in the war, and he's having like flashbacks and stuff like that. He's just kind of a tough guy, and I don't even know how you pronounce his real name, but everyone just calls him Boo. Because it's like Boo's, Laga, whatever. But everyone calls him Boo. He doesn't like being called Boo, but I think it's funny because, I mean, for this guy...
Like his name is like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It's like ridiculous. I actually sat down and practiced his name, and I had it. But I forgot it. So don't ask me to pronounce it right now. Maybe on the next one I will.
Take Boo and add like every letter of the alphabet after that, and then try to pronounce that.
It's no, but you kind of like him. Like, he's kind of got that small chip on his shoulder, a little bit feisty, you know... friction between him and the sheriff, but he's not a bad guy. He's he's going to have her back. You still can sense that partnership that these two are going to end up having.
Right. He's got that. He's an honorable guy. I mean, he's a military. I'm not sure what rank he was, but he's former military. He's got that honor by him. He knows a lot more about the town. She's the new person, so he's like, begrudgingly helping her, but at the same time, he knows his place. He's deputy. She's the sheriff. So it's not like he's going to sit there and just, and he's just, at this point, he's been captured in this, he's been taken by the group of guys that basically, who had an issue where the sheriff was with the guy who was blue. I guess he's a teacher. I don't think he's artificial, but I might have to go back and read that.
No, he wasn't. Was he a teacher or was he a doctor?
I think he's a teacher. The doctor's the drunk guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
So, they basically got interrupted because it's classic, two, gang brothers from a Western, and one of them gets caught by the sheriff, and the other one comes and rescues them, and the one wants to teach the sheriff a lesson, but the other one's like, you're an idiot, we need to get out of town. I mean, it's classic Western stuff, but it's really good. It's really exciting. And you also get to see some interesting things at the beginning of this episode, because as they started to allude to in the past, is that what maybe the sheriff and her son were trying to get away from was her husband. And this dude,
that's right.
He looks tough. I mean, he's in prison. He's all, just looking like all kinds of like a crazy person with beard and just but then he just basically escapes. So it's not like this guy's like, oh, I'm crazy. Oh no, by the way, I'm also really good at what I do. And he basically escapes, and I don't know where they're going with that, but I'm excited to see because I'm ready to see this guy shake down and everything just
because they didn't talk much about him. We don't really know much about him or his history other than the fact that that's his wife or is the new sheriff. So some stuff's about to go down on that one for sure.
But Boo tries to escape. He gets he takes out a couple guys, very classic. Just picks them up, breaks their neck. This guy's huge, so I love seeing him interact with these guys. But the whole time he's basically saying, he's planning it. He's going to get away from these guys. So he gets away for a little bit, kills a couple of them, and then they capture him. And I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, she's kind of befriended the artificial, live on the own kind of native dude who's already helped her once.
Whom she hated.
A great sniper. Which she hated. Correct.
Hated. Like, she basically, racist towards this person. Couldn't stand him. But he did save her son, and he did save her again. He was out there like a sniper, busting heads and stuff like that, which is why I like him. He's stone cold killer, but he's a nice guy, and he's kind of chosen the side of the sheriff. So, I'm looking forward to that partnership and this little trio they're going to have between her, deputy, and this Inhuman. I mean, this Artie, when he's out there handling this business. So, we're going to keep you updated on that because we're definitely going to be reading more of these when they come out.
For sure.
But moving on from that one is the Batman. New 52, issue 41. Nate made me. I wasn't caught up on the Justice League. I just kind of jumped in, read 40 and 41. Nate was like, bruh, this comic is good. You need to read all of them. Start at the beginning. And I've been on my comic book reading grind. Didn't read so many comic books this past couple weeks. It's been crazy. But I knocked out all of them, and we're here to talk about number 41. Batman in 40 had been killed. Well, they didn't. Well, obviously we know he doesn't get killed, but the Rock smashes down on top of him, and then that's it. No more. And so much time's passed, and then enter 41. We've got to replace Batman, basically.
Yeah, it basically seems the title of this story arc is super heavy for those of you that I had to check it out. I wasn't even paying attention to the.
What'd you say the arc was again?
It's called Super Heavy.
Yeah, that's right.
And so basically we're in it starts off with okay, they got this new Batman. He's in this giant metal suit, and I want to say just a little bit into it, you start hearing the guy talking to himself, kind of internal monologue again, and you realize that it's Jim Gordon. So immediately you're like, what? What's going on here? So then it does a little flashback, and basically they come to Jim. They're like, listen, we want you to be the new Batman, not because you're the most physical guy for the job, not because you're the smartest guy for the job, because you're a detective, and you were a detective. You know Gotham. They need someone there, and I mean, who else is gonna have that detective? I know Gotham like the back of my head mentality that Batman shows than Jim Gordon. So he thinks about it and he decides to do it. And they're basically like, okay, now it's time for you to get jacked. And he does a classic. He must have been on the Hugh Jackman diet because dude gets buff.
Oh,
he shakes his head. He gets the LASIK eye surgery. I mean,
they gave him some super soldier serum. This cat, when they showed him in a picture, I was like, man, he went back like 20 years and bulked up. I mean, you said something about him not being the most physical, and he's not. I mean, from the candidates that they had, but at the end, it was like, dang, they did him right with the way he was working out. And it's good. Yeah. It's good that they used him and not some new random character, somebody we've already got a relationship with, that we know. And on top of him already being a detective and knowing Gotham, he also knew Batman, and he worked with Batman. So
he might not know who Batman was, but he knew how Batman thought. And
yeah, exactly.
The best thing about this entire issue is that when it comes down to the end, how he's able to figure out what to do ultimately boils down to the exact reason why they wanted him, which is the fact that he knows Gotham and that he thinks like that. And if he hadn't been in that situation, he wouldn't have realized that the whole fight was basically a diversion from this particular character getting robbed, who happened to be, you know, one of the best baseball players of that neighborhood, and he lived there from Gotham. And the guy was just robbing him. Just a classic, I'm going to distract you with some crazy thing here, and then I'm going to, you know, rob this guy over there. And everybody was thinking, oh man, what is this? And he figured it out, you know. Yeah. And I think, if anything, it probably it gave him a little bit of confidence. You know, I think up to this moment, he's like, I'm not sure. I mean, but I think he felt good about it, and he definitely looked like he'd been rocking them, you know, Hugh Jackman bars, because when he got in that Batman suit, after he got out of that metal robot Batman suit,
yeah,
dude looked jacked.
Yeah, it looked, for a second, I wasn't sure. I was like, yo, is Batman already coming? I honestly thought when I first saw that picture that it was Batman who had popped in that for a second. But the costume looked nice. It was, I was totally digging it. So that was nice. And of course, we got at the end, Bruce Wayne. Or we're pretty sure it's Bruce Wayne, because you know you have that guy at the end who turns and he asks the question. He's like, Bruce Wayne? So they've already got him back. And, you know, Nate, like me and you was talking earlier, we hope they don't just bring Batman back and, you know, bring Bruce Wayne back immediately. We want to see Gordon flesh out as Batman for a while. We want to build that anticipation for Batman, so that when we finally see Batman, it's, you know, several issues has passed. So I'm hoping they do that. I'm hoping they keep the old Batman, Bruce Wayne, kind of in the dark for a while and let him see how the city runs without him.
It kind of gets that vibe. Like you want Batman. I mean, he's come back. You kind of can tell he looks a little disheveled. Got the long hair. Probably got a beard going on. You know, after his big fight, I mean, who knows? I mean, but I definitely want to see more Gordon. I want to see Batman maybe trying to decide if the city needs him. Yeah. I mean, he's been gone for a few months, and all of a sudden you have this, you know, replacement, and he's probably thinking, maybe this is my out. You know, maybe this is my chance to walk away.
Yeah, but start fresh, because we don't know. We don't know his state of mind. I mean, he really don't. I mean, the Joker did a doozy on him in the end game, so he might talk about he might be a little crazy. He might, you know, be beaten and battered. We're not even sure how he survived. We don't know if he jumped in and took some of that little serum from that lake that he was in. We don't know the status of Batman mentally or even physically. Maybe he just needs to completely rebuild. So I don't know. I'm excited about this new arc and where they're going, and I hope they keep Batman out for a little bit. That's it on our top 3. I hope you have enjoyed it. We want you to like, comment, subscribe, get involved in the conversation. Talk to us, hit us up on Twitter at Comfire Rich, that's me. Comfire Nate, that's him. And get with us, talk to us about it. So until next time, we out.
See ya.